on housing, we had the Prime Minister and Premier of Victoria out boasting about the social housing accelerator, as they call it today, building more social housing. What's your reaction to that?
Oh, Andrew, I mean, this is business as usual, honestly. The Premier and Prime Minister don't get a pat on the back for doing what governments have done forever, and that is build social and affordable housing. In Victoria, the wait lists are longer than they've ever been. So this government, both at a federal level and a state level, are not going to get any pat on the back from me. On every single measure, housing is getting harder and going backwards. First home buyers are down, new home builds are down, new home approvals are down, rents are skyrocketing. On every single metric, things are getting worse. All
right, well, speaking of which, the New South Wales budget delivered this afternoon. Pretty modest measures there, $300 million for the building of social housing arm, Landcom. What did you make of all that?
Well, again, Andrew, these are a drop in the bucket. You've got a federal government with Anthony Albanese who's bringing in 1.5 million migrants over 5 years. 1.5 million. So when the Prime Minister goes out and announces that they are funding something that's been funded forever by federal governments, a small contribution towards 230 new homes in Carlton, when he's bringing in 1.5 million people, I think most Australians sit back and scratch their head at that.
Some pretty unseasonally hot weather in New South Wales and Queensland at the moment, and the prospect of fires on the south coast of New South Wales. Do you think climate change is a contributor to that?
I don't think so. I don't think you can say that climate change itself, for any particular season, any particular event, any particular period of, short period of weather can be ascribed directly to climate change. I think what needs to happen is that the states, and with the support of the federal government, need to do everything they can to prepare. That includes backburning, that includes all of the preparatory work to get ourselves as ready as we possibly can. Australia has always been a land of fires and flooding rains. That has been for time immemorial, and we need to get as good as we possibly can in preparing for these things. We now know that our society, our communities, people are living in much more regional and remote areas than they were 50 or 100 years ago, and that means that the job's even bigger as far as protecting lives and protecting livelihoods and protecting people's homes and businesses. So I think we need to be prepared every summer, and there'll be periods where we have unseasonably wet summers, unseasonably hot summers, and it's obvious that in those hot summers we've got to be really prepared and ready for what's coming.